Okay, and welcome to stage 3 of Zwift-CAT racing series. Today's route is the Yumezi Grit circuit. It's one of the new gravel courses Zwift released for this racing series. In truth, as far as route details, it's not all that different than the first and the second race that I did. Whatever, downhill lead in to a climb, to a flat, to a downhill, to a sprint finish, essentially. The only curveball Zwift's thrown at us for this series is that this route is pretty much a 50-50 split between tarmac and gravel, meaning which bike do you choose? Now, based on everything I've seen on Zwift Insider and online about what to choose, it's really based on the rider. 1 kilometer out from the line is tarmac, benefiting the sprinters on road bikes, while the Temple KOM, the big climb in this one, is going to benefit the gravel riders because it's all dirt. I myself, knowing that I'm no longer happy with my top 10 finishes and I'd really like to compete with a podium, I've been doing all right on the climbs lately. So I did opt to go with my S-Works tarmac in the hopes that other stronger riders are going to choose the same thing. Lead out aggressively at the start, establish a lead and hold it throughout the race. Pick up time where you can on the pavement. Try to maintain that time on the climbs where you're going to lose time to the gravel riders. So the hope is really just to survive, stay with the lead group as much as I can. And again, the idea is to, of course, be in contention for a podium when we get to that last 1.5 kilometers that is forever going to be my nemesis. Last race was disappointing. I made a new bear and tactically really screwed it up in the last 1.5 kilometers. I'm hoping to correct that today. No way to tell. We'll see. A little over 2 minutes to the bell here, and we'll get underway.
Coming off the line, I'll admit I was really nervous about whether or not I'd made the wrong decision here by trying to press a flats advantage with a road bike and relying on the rest of the group to push pace.
I'm amped. My heart rate's too high.
And pushing my heart rate north of 140 BPM less than a minute out the gate is never a good thing, especially for a race like this, because the pace continues to just ramp up and up and up as we proceed through the lead-in and up the long, shallow climb on the road. This is all before we apparently hit the hard part, which is supposed to be the gravel for me, being on a road bike.
Well, that'll wake you up. 282 average start, pushing 300, pretty close to it anyway.
And despite the hot start, I mean, it's still only 2.5 minutes into the race and I can still think straight. I can't help but notice a couple of important things. The first being that as a group, anybody who is on a road bike really didn't try to force that pace on the lead in, and we hit the gravel as one big bunch. And that represents a bit of a concern in my mind, because a quick scan of the mini-map and I realized that this climb here, the Temple KOM, we have to do it now not once, not twice, but actually 3 times to get to the finish line.
How's that for a hot start?
The fact that we've got to do this climb 3 times over the course of the race, again, is now a bit of an issue because the pace is now increased to an average wattage of almost 300 watts.
Losing ground on the gravel guys already.
Now, I'm really not sure how true that is and whether or not the guys up front are actually on road bikes instead of gravel. All I do know is that in looking at some of the other videos on YouTube, the pace of this Cat C race is more resembling, that of a Cat D race, just based on overall wattage averages.
All right, over the top. We'll sustain pressure.
And you're going to want to make a note of this flat section on the dirt here following the end of the kicker, because on a road bike, after we crest the top of the peak, it becomes incredibly difficult to maintain pace before we hit the tarmacs here and we get a little bit of resistance relief.
That second killer's kicker, or that second kicker is killer. Whew.
Heart rate now poking north of 150 BPM. That's high for me. And a wattage average north of my FTP at 290 for 8 minutes now. And as you can see, I can't even speak right, and we're only a quarter of the way through.
Holding pace now we're on the road, but just barely.
Just barely being the key word here. The lead-in's done. We just started the first lap, and again, I'm running on the high side of everything and starting to question my choice to go with a road bike.
Recover. Slow that heartbeat.
Now, my one saving grace, being that we're only on the first lap, however, is that while we're running through this dirt flat, really the gravel riders aren't pressing their advantage all that much either. I do have an opportunity to grab a little bit of recovery, and the wattage stays fairly reasonable below, 230, 240, which is just fine. Essentially a cruising gear for me.
Be with the lead group for the dig on the tarmac.
And this right here is where I expect all the roadies to start pressing their advantage on this long false flat on the tarmac. This is where you'd like to see some separation of the group as the gravel riders fall behind due to just not having an efficient enough bike, so that we can make some bank and establish some of a lead before we hit the dirt again.
I think we should be running a split here, to be honest, but I can't attack.
If you're paying attention, you're starting to see some of the problem I'm faced with.
Not like this.
So we're just finishing running up the false flat here on the road, and again, the pace is below 300 watts. We haven't established any separation, but I've still managed to steadily increase my heart rate back up to the higher levels.
There's a small attack.
Too little and way too late.
Should have picked the road bike for this one. All right, good. Maybe I did make the right choice.
Fake news and all lies. I think I know at this point that I probably would have been better off suffering on the tarmac with a gravel bike than instead suffering on the dirt and on the climbs with a road bike. It just doesn't suit a rider like me. I don't have the kind of strength on climbs I need, at least not with this rider group.
Okay, here we go. This one gonna hurt.
And hurt it does. Whether or not I am forgetting about the steep kicker at the end of this climb, or I'm simply exhausted, one way or the other I end up popping my steamroller power up early, probably just in an effort to keep up with everybody, thinking that, okay, we're almost at the top. Sure enough, that's not the case at all, and we've still got that final kicker before we crest the peak and start on the downhill back towards the pavement. Again, the issue here though ends up not being this kicker itself. I've got enough power to get up it and still stay attached. It's when we get to the top that I see the biggest problem. Heart rate in the 160s, pace currently at 277 watts, and I'm having trouble just hitting 300 here to keep up.
Come on.
And just like that, I'm now eating dust, spit off the back, and dropped like a bad habit. For those who have not done this race yet, this is the exact spot I have seen numerous people now on YouTube getting dropped. The exact same spot, that dirt downhill before we hit the pavement.
I don't have it.
And I really was expecting that if I did end up getting dropped at any point, I would still be able to catch back on after the advantage turned back to me on the pavement. Problem is, after that long climb and the downhill dirt descent that followed, I just simply don't have anything in the tank to do so.
There's a difference.
And I do hang in here as long as I can in the vain hope that everybody who's 3 seconds ahead is going to somehow slow their roll and allow me to catch back on, but it just does not happen.
Oh, I'm on my own. Damn it.
And to be dropped this early in a race is just a really tough pill to swallow. It really is.
All right, let them catch. Gather some recovery.
In truth, I haven't been dropped this bad since my very first race on Zwift. It's demoralizing and frustrating when you find yourself actually slowing down during a race to let others help you out to get through the rest of the course.
Well, experiment failure. I officially blew up.
And in hindsight, I truly don't think it matters which bike you choose. The important thing is that when you do choose what bike you're going to ride, you have to press the advantages offered by it on this course no matter what. Otherwise, you've got no chance of competing for a podium, let alone a win.
For 20th? Yeah.
We're mercifully approaching the end now, and the only hope I have is to absolutely murder myself for my worst finish on Zwift ever.
Ready to pop.
And let's face it, after a performance like this, 20th place looks a lot better than 21st, unfortunately.
Fuck! Fuck! Holy shit!
And you'll once again have to forgive me for the profanity, but I haven't been pushed to the limit like this in a very long time, and it just proves to me that if I want to be competitive in the higher levels of Cat C, I've got a long way to go.
Oh, I'm shaking. I'm gonna pass out. Oh, fuck. Hardest 20th place ever.
And it really was. It really was.
I got the sprint in though. It's still 20th place. Oh, shit. Gravel bike might have been a better choice. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch it again to see where I got dropped. Because I honestly don't remember. I can't think straight. Oh my God. Whew.
Full credit to every single rider who finished in front of me. It was an incredibly tough race and a wild pace.
I'm not here for you. I'm just here to die. Oh, God. Oh, my legs are fucked. Oh. Oh. All right, it's official. I think maybe the gravel bike would have been a better choice. My guess is I probably overcooked my legs on the climbs. And essentially it was just a slow blow up through the entire second lap. That's my guess right now. I'll watch it back and see. That and no more lifts before race day. No more lifts on race day. Competition's too good. These guys are crazy, man. Taylor, this guy, he's pushing 299 watts. That's crazy. Wow.
And yeah, the numbers really don't lie. I think I did my best watts per kg in this race at about 3.1, but look at everybody in front, like 3.2, 3.3, 3.4. One guy, Taylor, hitting like 299 watts. Like this is the kind of competition that I'm up against now, and it's a little intimidating.
Anywho, disappointing finish. Probably going to make for a boring video, but it is what it is. Trying to crank watts. Peace.